Breastfeeding doesn't require a ton of stuff, but the internet will make you think it does. I'm going to walk you through what I think are the core breastfeeding essentials you need to put on your baby registry and why we should only stick to the core items first, as well as what I personally skipped. And just to be clear, I successfully breastfed 2 babies, each of them, like separately, they weren't twins. I made it over a year for both of my babies. Okay, I did it, and this is how I did it and what I used to make it happen. The first thing I want to tell you before I tell you about a single breastfeeding item that you need, the first thing you need is a latch. If baby will not latch to you, you're screwed. Like, you're not probably going to breastfeed successfully. And the next thing you would go to would be the nipple shield. I did not need the nipple shield because I got the latch to work without it. And for me, that was a pro because a nipple shield is a really serious way to introduce bacteria. It's something you need to keep clean and sanitary. Its baby's mouth is on it, your breast is on it, and honestly, it was not something I wanted to work with. It seemed like a hassle, especially when you're out in public. So for me, the nipple shield was a skip, but it can be an essential tool to some mamas. Okay, and I totally respect that. I would err on trying not to use it though, because it is one more thing that you're gonna have to use once you start using it. You can wean off of it, but that can be challenging as well. Now let's get into what I actually use. So my number one item would be nipple butter, something to put on them. Some sort of thing that is safe for baby because they're gonna be eating off there, but safe for your body. I mean, some people use coconut oil. Some people use a like lanolin or this or that. I don't care what you use, but you need something for your nipples because they're gonna get dry, cracked, and chapped. Okay, it's kind of like chapped lips. You need lip balm. It's that sort of vibe, and for me, that is the number one essential item. Next would be nursing pads. You can get disposable or reusable, and that's because you're going to leak, okay? Especially in the first 12 weeks or so, about 3 months. After that, the leaking should subside for the most part. Maybe at night, like in the morning, you might have a little bit because of like engorgement if your baby slept good. But overall, leaking happens in the beginning. It's not a huge deal, but you'll be soggy if you don't have breast pads. It's that simple. Next would be nursing bras. So for me, I did enjoy having nursing bras. It depends obviously on your bust size. Some people have like very small chest and they just use like a bralette and they're like, oh, I didn't need an official nursing bra. What I have already works. It just depends on your access and how you dress and basically just how it works for you and how comfortable you are with your clothing, your body, and yeah, just how it works for you. I liked nursing bras. I had 4 of them. 3 of them were comfy. 1 of them was a little more structured with a wire, and I just did the laundry really frequently. Right after nursing bras, I'm gonna go into nursing tops, dresses, and nursing friendly clothing. It is up to you how much you buy. I did not invest in very much. I repeated clothing a lot. Something like this shirt. So it's high neck. I wouldn't pull it down. I would pull this up, and then I would have a tank top underneath. So like my belly would be covered and like my back would be covered. So the whole tank top t-shirt method, t-shirt goes up, tank top stays down. It keeps you covered overall. And then beyond that, I would get a nursing cover. I got 2 or maybe a couple more than that. All my nursing covers were for free. They were from like the welcome boxes and one was a hand-me-down from some friends. I liked a nursing cover. You may not need a nursing cover at all. It is again completely up to you and your comfortability, but you don't have to have these items to breastfeed. You really don't, okay? It comes down to you and your baby. All right, these are just my core basics that help me succeed in breastfeeding my babies. The next thing from there that I would get personally would be the haka. Now, if you are a mama that's gonna go to work and pump, you don't need the haka. Just wear the pump on both sides, call it a day. I was not wanting to pump. So what I would do is nurse baby on one side, I use the football hold so their feet went under my armpit, boom, haka would go on the other side, they wouldn't kick it, they wouldn't hit it. I would collect some ounces, which then I would put into a freezer milk storage bag, so I would need those, that would be another item. And then would go in the freezer. Now, if you're gonna store milk, you're gonna need a bottle. I'd get like 3 bottles. That's it. If you plan to breastfeed, don't get a ton of bottles. Don't get a ton of bottle accessories. If the goal truly is to directly nurse your baby and you're gonna be with them. If you're going to daycare and you're pumping and going to work, you're gonna need bottles. I was with my babies, okay? So again, you need the items that fit your lifestyle. That is so important. You don't need to get what your best friend loved or liked or recommends necessarily because you have a different life than them. And that's okay. So those are my core basics that I got. Now I'm gonna tell you some items that I skipped. Nursing pillow. Right off the bat, I think everyone is shocked that I fed 2 babies. Each one made it to like about 14 or 15 months is when I quit with each of my babies. I did not use a nursing pillow. I didn't want it. I was like, it's gonna sit on my couch for months. And then between babies, where am I gonna store it? It just felt really like a bulky item to me. So what I did, and I told my husband this, I was like, I'm not getting a nursing pillow. I went into our guest bedroom. We had a guest bedroom at the time, pulled a pillow off the bed, and I would use that. So I fed on one side, I put the pillow there, I put baby on top of the pillow. It propped them up enough to get the job done. And you know what? You don't use a nursing pillow all the way till they're a year old, unless you really enjoy it, and that's fine if you do. But also, when you're at a restaurant, do you have your nursing pillow? No, you make do. Now, when it comes to nursing, you do want to have really good posture. I would say that's one of the most important things. Bringing baby to you is really important. So if the pillow helps you to make that happen, get the pillow. All right, you could get a secondhand pillow. You could buy a new cover for it. Get one from one of your friends, your cousins, you know, an older sister, somebody else that you are comfortable using it with. You don't need a brand new one. Not everything needs to be brand new, and a nursing pillow is definitely not one of those items. So for me, it was a skip. For you, it might be a must-have. Then we have some other little gadgets, gizmos. Okay, so things like freezer packs or heat packs. Didn't use any of those. There's like some silicone, almost like a face mask, but for your breast. Didn't get any of those. Also silverettes. They're like the little silver cups you can put on there. Didn't get those. All right, didn't need them. They're very expensive. They're like $40. Absolutely outrageous in my opinion. So for me, it was nursing my baby, putting cream on, putting those nursing pads in my nursing bra. And for the most part, I was good. When it comes to nursing your baby, it's about the latch and it's about your relationship with baby. It's not about the products. These products can help you in your breastfeeding journey, but they're not going to make you succeed. Having items does not mean you are going to be successful at breastfeeding. I am so pro breastfeeding, but if you buy $300 worth of breastfeeding items and after day 2, you're like, I can't do this. It hurts too much. The latch isn't working. I just can't. Which I'm sorry if you're in that position and I hope you can push through it and get to the other side. But if you can't, you can't. But you just wasted like $300 on all these items. And yeah, it's not your money, but it's your friends and family's money from your baby registry. And that money could have been spent on diapers that you were actually going to use, like 100% going to use. So I recommend you start minimal, focused, and basic. And if you're finding during your breastfeeding journey you need more items, great, get more items. But start out with the core minimal. And in my opinion, absolute core minimal is you need your baby to be born. You need a nipple cream. And if you're struggling with the latch and you want to try the nipple shield, which they will offer in the hospital, that is available to you. After that, everything else is just an accessory and a convenience, like nursing pads in your bra. Technically, that's not helping you to feed your baby. It's just helping you not be soaked, okay? That's not guaranteeing success. It's all about that latch and relationship with baby. So learn how to breastfeed. Research videos on getting a proper latch. That's what you need to do more than researching products for breastfeeding. Because at the end of the day, breastfeeding is not about the items, it's that relationship, and it's so easy. The internet tells you you need all the things, and that's why you were successful. No, it's not. It's your education, relationship with baby. Do not let the internet tell you you need all these things. You don't. It leads to overspending in items that are just collecting dust. The best thing you can do is start out simple, learn what you need, and adjust from there. And this is just one section of the baby registry. This is just breastfeeding, but this is why baby registries felt overwhelming, because you go down this rabbit hole of items that you think you need that you actually don't. And that's why I offer a baby registry review service. You tell me about you. What are your plans? Are you gonna breastfeed? Are you returning to work? Daycare, stay-at-home mom? What are you planning to do? I will look through your baby registry and help you out and tell you, yes, you need this item, or you forgot this item, or we need to skip this item. Do you really think you need it? I don't think so. So if you're interested in a personalized experience and a individualized baby registry review, look down in the description. There will be a link to my services. I also want to encourage you on your breastfeeding journey, so I will link some of my other breastfeeding videos down in the description, because if you want to be successful, I would love to give you any piece of advice that can help you along that journey.